Okay, so it's the end of another week, and we are in the middle of, some major earthworks. We have big brother, little brother diggers that are working on the big old hole over there that I'll show you in a minute. But this is our septic tank. Right now, I'll insert a photo of me in front of it, show you how big it is. The septic tanks have to be chosen based on the size of the house. So if I come over here, you can see it's a fairly decent sized house, and this bad boy is set up for 6 people apparently. So as Francis pointed out, unlike humans, it eats poop, and the poop goes in that hole. And then basically this is a single contained unit thing. So the poop goes in, it gets filtered out somewhere up there. The liquid waste goes through a whole bunch of filters on the inside of this thing. And over here, it has a hole where it pees out gray water, basically. So if I take you over here, this is what Big Brother and Little Brother have been working on. It is a giant hole for our septic, and I'll go ahead and stick a picture in of Francis standing in there so you can see just how deep it is. So once the septic gets put in there, it will get hooked up to these inbound pipes, and they will dig another outbound pipe that will send the gray water. I don't know if we're sending the gray water to the well or if we're sending it out to the ditch. But regardless, the gray water will be going somewhere that way. So if we head around here, we have our pipes. If we head actually back over here, I don't think I ever showed it because it was really disgusting, but we had kind of a basin out here. So this outlet is for the kitchen sink. And originally it went into a basin here, which was acting as a grease separator. So theoretically, the grease would stay in the basin, and then the gray water would go out that tube, out to the ditch. So we've had to cut up the concrete, and they've added a proper grease trap. So the kitchen water will go down into this grease trap where the grease will be separated from the water. This needs to be cleaned out once a year. So now that tube there is basically kaput. We're not using that anymore. And this comes along and basically comes out here. So the grease trap comes out there. This one goes into the laundry room and where the dog bath is. And you can't see it from this angle, but down here we have one more, which basically goes all the way around the house, and that handles the toilet and the bathroom and Francis's workshop. And this upper one actually just comes right over here, and that will be our vent. So the idea is that the 3 inbound pipes will get connected into one pipe, which will go into the septic. It'll get filtered out through the compact filter and end up being ejected out somewhere. So if I come around here some more, you can see that they've gone ahead and terraced all the ground here, so they made it nice and flat for us. This is a clean out, I think, for all the toilet stuff in case it gets blocked up. And then under here, they've actually run a pipe, so from our rain will get diverted into this, which then goes straight down to the gutter. And then over here, it looks a lot different over here. It's all very dirty, but it's very, very flat now. So yeah, they went ahead and flattened it. If I come up around here. This is where the bathroom and the toilet room above all kind of come in. So there's still clean outs. These are actually the clean outs, 1, 2, 3. And then this, we're going to be getting rid of that, that metal thing is going away, and this pipe will go straight into the house. So that'll look a little nicer than what it did before. But yeah, these are staying as our external cleanouts for the, like, basically the tub, shower tub, sink in the bathroom, get in there, toilet goes here, and this is another, basically the toilet stuff comes down here, and this is a clean out for that toilet stuff. So all of these have tubes underground that meet the main tube that then goes around the house into the sewer. And then up here, they had to cut out the concrete slab because we put a sink in the garage for Francis to use in his workshop, and so that exits here and again goes underneath, and is actually, this is actually the top of the sewer system, the new sewer system. Under this platform, there's actually another, well, I'll go up and show you. When we had the gutters redone, they put this gutter and it goes into that hole there, which actually goes kind of along here out to the middle and then back over. This is the rainwater diversion. So the rainwater doesn't get treated in the septic at all. That just goes straight into the ditch. Also, in case you're wondering, we do have some moisture issues along the wall here where there is not a concrete pad. So Francis and I are thinking about basically extending that concrete pad and bringing it all the way down to meet this concrete pad. And that way in the winter when it's wet and soggy, we could potentially be able to go back and forth, but we're mainly thinking about adding some external storage along the house back here in the form of like some plastic totes where we can store some outdoor like garden tools and stuff without having to have them in the house. But also that will be obviously sloped from the house down to our point here, sloped away from the house so that the rain, any rain that accumulates won't be like right there. It'll kind of be diverted away. All of this brown soil area, I've ordered a mix of grass seeds. So we're going to go ahead and rake it, throw some grass seeds out. We're expecting rain over the next couple of weeks, so that should help that. And I might actually mix in some clover too. So it might be a mix of like basically grass and clover. Pretty much we're just going to throw the seeds out and try to keep them watered and see what happens. And then over here, this is part of the original rain diversion system. So this thing hooks up to the big tube that comes from the gutter, and then the tube over there also comes. So all the rainwater ends up coming here, and then there's a straight line down through the property to a ditch on the road over there. And inside the house is kind of equally exciting. So I think I covered last week that we have the outlets in here. The wall has been cleaned up and the lights are in. However, you can't really tell because we taped them to do the touch-up paint. This room still needs obviously some touch-up paint over there, but for the most part it's done, as is the utility room. Again, they're not really doing anything where we're thinking about potentially having a backsplash, but they did get the rest of the outlets at least put in. We also have the lights put in and we've been doing touch-up paint. So in this room, we pretty much have to clean it up, get the touch-up paint done, and prep it for the cabinet installation. In the dining room, it's kind of dark, sorry. But yeah, the electrician has gone ahead and started putting in outlets. Again, we weren't having much done in this room, so it was pretty easy for him to just kind of like move stuff around. Over here, we just had they had the outlets way up high, so we're having all the outlets kind of brought down to the floor level. That makes a little bit more sense to us. But yeah, so we have outlets and light switches in here, which is fantastic. This is basically ready to go, but we don't really have a light yet. We haven't decided what to do there. Out in the main space and the rest of the house, nothing is happening with regard to electrical yet. That's going to be kind of like phase 2 on the electrical. But in the bedroom, in the closet, everything's been done. We have our lights, we have our outlet over there. We have the little thing here. So again, in here, we just have to take the tape off the floor, clean it up, and do some spot paint. And this will be ready to install whatever we're gonna have. And again, in the bedroom, we've gotten that cleared up and put away. The outlets are in here. This is a vent to the fireplace that's in the dining room. So basically that's where the heat would come into this room. This panel was open last week. It's now been closed up. Again, this whole room is basically made of these like giant, like chunky monkey bricks of plaster. So we're not painting this room. We're just gonna sand it and wallpaper it. But we are gonna leave the wooden ledge alone. And yeah, so this room is almost ready for stuff to happen. And the electrician actually managed to get most of the toilet room. So we have like the light up there, the light switch. Again, we have to figure out what we're gonna do with here and the pipes, but we're gonna have a little sink here for the toilet room. And in the bathroom, again, we have stuff going. This is where our towel heater is gonna go. So the towel heater is gonna go here. We have some outlets there. The light will get mounted there, mirror. And yeah, the lights are in, the extractor fan. So we do have some touch-up paint to do. And of course we have to figure out this beam. And we are gonna put some sort of like accordion board or something up there just to kind of like hide that and finish it. But yeah, so other than Francis and I coming in and doing some touch-up work, it's pretty much done. So that's all exciting. And I think that's it for the house. Obviously the rest of it needs to get done as well. But that's for a little later. And up in the garden, big news is that our giant piles of junk have been hauled off. So that's exciting for us and probably the neighbors, because yeah, it looks a lot nicer. I mean, obviously we still have some stuff. So basically the piles here were mainly yard waste, and the pile here is mainly metal, which goes somewhere else. So it got separated out. Those big toys end up going home on that big flatbed. So that's what that is. That is not ours. I'm still working through my big bags of mulch. Garden is still doing its thing. And down here, Francis hacked it down upon request. I think I kind of covered this last time, but I weeded out that thing. This whole mess is disappearing, but I've decided to divide and conquer. So I'm obviously starting way over there with getting it prepped and dug up now that it's started to rain, because that stuff is rock hard. So this whole week it's supposed to rain. So over the next couple of days, I'm hoping to work starting on that side over, getting as much done as possible. Around here, we start getting the roots of the old juniper that was here. So we're going to have to figure out how to get those out. And then, of course, this thing. So part of why I'm working from that side over here is because there's a lot more access on this side, and we may be able to have someone come in with basically with a digger tool, and they might be able to access this slope from this direction to dig it out with their big machine. Otherwise, we're stuck trying to hand dig out roots, which kind of sucks, but we'll do it if we have to. We're just hoping we don't have to. Over in the garden, it's still doing its thing. And Francis is gonna hack this down one more time, and I'm going to be extending the black landscaping fabric over to the fence. And basically just put it on ice until I get around to doing more of it. This started getting higher priority because one of the local shops had a great sale on blueberry plants. So over there, I have 4 blueberry plants that need to be planted, and I'm kind of thinking about making this a little berry patch. I know I'm going to have to keep fighting with the soil to make it good for blueberries, but basically I'm kind of thinking the blueberries would go back around there, and then I might do like cranberries, and then maybe something else. I don't know. Haven't really decided. But yeah, that's the garden and our roof and the cornfields.